breaking in. I'm breaking in. I'm breaking in.
From the home of the reigning NFC champs, there's a look at Bank of America Stadium here in Uptown Charlotte. Tonight, we wind up Week 5 with a good battle between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers. On the return, it's Ted Ginn Jr. Oh, the spin. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the former Auburn man, Charles, hard to believe, already in his 6th year now, Cam Newton.
And every eye in the stadium goes to him as soon as he appears, doesn't it? There are very few players that have that type of effect. Doesn't matter whether he comes out for warm-ups, or he's come out for the game, to start the game the first time on the field. All eyes on number 1, and rightly so. He may be the best player in the game.
Here's Stewart, and he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. Kelvin Benjamin has to be a feature of this offense that's on your screen now.
Definitely a number 1 receiver, a huge target with some speed. It's almost like go-go gadget when he goes up to get the football. No matter how you defend him, he can go just a little bit higher.
Second down, here's Newton. He's got the second-team All-Pro from a year ago, Greg Olsen. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense in every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Stewart on first down. And he's got this one just across midfield to the 49. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Have they come up with a nickname for just Jonathan Stewart? Remember when it was double trouble when he was running with D'Angelo Williams in Carolina? But, boy, what a year he had in 2015.
Yeah, it was just 11 yards shy of 1,000, so close, but kind of stepped out of that shadow, didn't he?
Certainly did, and gave the Panthers a real identity running the ball.
On second down, they run with Stewart. Shreds the tackle. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. The starting 11 defensively for Tampa Bay.
Joe McCoy's one of the top defensive tackles in the league. Always a threat to go to the Pro Bowl, especially because of his pass rushing ability.
And they're just a couple of yards shy of a 1st down here on 3rd down. They'll run the option left. He may try and run for this. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
And while it's highly unusual for NFL teams to think about using their quarterback on key 3rd down runs, none of those teams, save one, has Cam Newton. He's unique, one of the biggest quarterbacks you'll ever see. Give him the ball. Let him pick it up.
turns and hands to Stewart. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. They'll try the air now with Newton. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
All right, say it with me now. A lot of different words we come up with. Maybe we go back and forth after that play, getting his toes tapped down to make that catch. Crafty.
Yep.
Wiley. Oh, definitely.
All the veteran names.
You name it. Has every move in the book and continued to get better throughout his career so he can make that type of a catch.
On 1st and 10, Newton. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. And he is out of bounds just a yard or two shy of the 10. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. In the red zone this time.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
This is Stewart again. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man, a huge man.
Big boy.
Well, how about the credit then for the defense to be able to chop that big tree and put him on the ground?
I know back when you played, it took 4 of you to take a guy like that down, right?
Well, that's for sure. And you know what else? I didn't want to challenge him at dinner either.
And he dropped it. Now it was tipped, altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And Godot's kick is right through. And the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. And Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They're led out by the #1 overall pick of these Bucs in the 2015 draft. Out of Florida State, the former Noel, Jameis Winston.
And he's always been a gym rat. He's always been a guy who just absolutely loves the game and loves everything about preparation. Watching tape, rallying teammates. He has a charisma that's just off the charts. How does he get better, though? Starting in year 2, well, he worked on the offseason, lost weight, reconfigured his body. I think it's just a matter of continuing to take care of the football and continuing to lead his team. Because you know in Tampa Bay, they #believe in Jameis. In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. They've got it 2nd and 4 to start things out. Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it.
After a legal call, the rule on the field is reversed.
Two yards to go here on third down. Here's Martin as they begin on the ground. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish, holding that to a minimal gain?
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Winston sneaking it. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down.
I tell you, on 4th and 1, when you're way back on your side of the field, I thought this might just be an attempt to draw them off and get the first down that way. But they were going for it the whole time, and they wind up getting it.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. Winston to throw it this time. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
Jameis Winston and Mike Evans came into the league 1 year apart. They're going to continue to grow together. How about their first connection in this game?
Yeah, in the first 2 seasons for Mike Evans, both over 1,000 yards. What a way to start an NFL career. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
In 2015, we saw the Doug Martin that we saw as a rookie, didn't we?
Absolutely. A 1,400 yards, second only to Adrian Peterson last year.
And he really helped a young quarterback develop by taking a lot of pressure off of him.
Now he feels good coming off that 5-year deal he signed in March.
Feels even better about that.
On 2nd down, Martin. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
3rd and short yardage, Winston. Over the middle to Evans. And that little deke, the juke move that we saw, able to give him the first down yardage before he's brought down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now it's Martin. And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short.
Not an ideal spot to be on first down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in 2nd and manageable.
And now we're circling here around the 2-minute warning.
This is a setup play, trying to get one last one in before the clock warning.
Second down, Winston. And he rifles one incomplete. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Larry Ridley. Larry will have highlights and analysis of this first half. I'm guessing mostly defensive highlights that we will see.
Yeah, and that's kind of cool. No touchdown scored yet so far.
Yeah, none whatsoever.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it. move forward and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. They come up in an offset eye. Back to the ground. This time it's Martin. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you've got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
Now Jameis on second down. He completes it to Evans. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And now for the offense, this is play number 11 here on this drive. So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look, 6 DBs. On third down, Winston. And Brate has it over the middle. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And Aguayo able to knock it through. And that will knot things up here late in the first half. So they get 3. They were hoping for 6. An unlucky number 13 play drive.
Well, you go to the sideline after putting 3 points on the board, happy, but you wanted to be ecstatic. You wanted to have 6 on the board. On the opposite sideline, though, the defense, I think they're high-fiving each other, only giving up 3 after letting them run that much offense.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And this is a catch by Ted Ginn. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 13 on the pickup there. And that leads to a Carolina first down. Now Newton on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. They go play action with Stewart. Now Newton. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Newton on third down. Surveying the field. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. It's the rookie Noah Spence out of Eastern Kentucky in there to bring him down, and it'll be a play to remember for that young man. The first sack of his NFL career. And the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On fourth down, the Panthers hand things over to the veteran Andy Lee to punt it away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Final play of the half here. Winston. He's going to float this one deep right side. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night, as we'll send you down the coast to Orlando, where we check in with our friend Larry Ridley and the EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome.
And hello. I guess Larry's halftime show was buttoned through, and we are moving on and ready to go for the third quarter. On the return, this is Jaquiz Rogers. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. The third quarter starts with a run by Martin. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Play clock winding down. Winston. Over the middle to Evans. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll run it. Here's Martin. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They run again on first down. Martin. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
And the defensive line controls the offensive front the way we just saw there. It doesn't allow any of the offensive linemen to leak downfield and get to the linebackers and block them on the second level. You end up with the type of play we just saw. Linebackers didn't have to fight anyone off. Didn't have to knock anyone to the side. Didn't have to elude anyone trying to block them. They just saw the play, ran to the ball, and finished things off.
2nd down, Winston. He finds his target. It's Evans. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Quick pass play there on the slant, Charles. Works out well for the offense.
The offense loves it. The defender hates it. Hard to get through the body of the receiver to get to the football trying to cover a slant.
So completion on 2nd down. That brings up 3rd. Winston with a give to Martin. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
And, partner, in a lot of short yardage situations, you'll see the linebackers step up into the gaps, what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, to make sure they take away all spaces, all creases. That one worked really well for them.
They only needed a yard, instead went backwards. Here's Brian Anger now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie.
Still first down.
Stewart is the lone setback. Now Newton. And to the tight end, Olsen, right side. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it a second down.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Let's see what the defense dials up here. 3rd and 4. From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Newton gives off to Stewart. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. But we'll return with more after this. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's been a tight, low-scoring affair thus far. 3-3 is our score heading into the 4th. So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. Draw play, Newton to Stewart. And he's got room. And he's brought down. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. I always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Now a 10th carry for Jonathan Stewart. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
For so many years, I was convinced it was a myth, you know, because you always hear about the smaller running back. Oh, he gets lost, you can't find him, and sometimes that's part of his genius. But it's true. You get behind big offensive linemen, the defensive line guy's trying to find him, trying to peek around people to see him, and he gets lost. But this guy gets lost in a good way for his offense, picking up big yardage.
They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. They'll run it now out of the the gun. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
They'll try the air now with Newton. His pass caught at the 4. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to it.
He's got it for a Panther touchdown. Ted Ginn, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Panthers have taken the lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle 3rd of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now we see Kuechly apparently shaken up, yet to rise to his feet. We'll check on his status when we get back. So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down. Now Jameis on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And a catch right side by Evans. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. 1 score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Desperation time. Winston on 4th down. Being chased out left. Complete. He finds Bray. A big play there on the catch and run. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
We always talk about big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments. I think that 4th down qualified. That was a heck of a throw.
The offense certainly looking to score some points, but they also need ball security here late as we get down to the final moments of this one. On 1st and 10, Winston. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Mario Addison in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Winston now from the 50. They'll roll him out right. And oh, this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. First down, here's the run with Martin. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. One receiver to the left is Evans. He's back to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The tight end Cameron Brate was the target. Third down here. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Back to throw. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. First and goal. Defense with their backs against the wall. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. And the evidence shows last week's game, it's really leaked into a second game now. Charles, what do you think of this?
And it's a surprise, isn't it? Because when we spent time watching them practice, talking with the coaches, they felt like a bounce back was going to happen this week. They were very confident in the game plan, thought the defenses they would see would present great opportunities for big-time runs. We're not getting that so far. I don't know if this is a game plan or if they're just being overwhelmed by the defense they're facing. It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
So now 3rd and goal. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was a Accomplished by scoring the touchdown. They're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
And now a critical extra point attempt here. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. This one taken just inside the 10. A beautiful fake. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Offense staying ahead of the chains here, 2nd and 3. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
Too quick to the trigger that time. Neutral zone infraction, and that'll cost him 5 yards. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Newton to throw. Finding time. And he'll avoid the... Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Newton. And the tight end Olsen, right side. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. So it all comes down to the right foot. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. So it all comes down to the right foot of Graham Gano. This from Tom Dempsey range here. And he missed it. It's no good. And that changes everything here in OT. Well, the entire 2015 season featured no ties in the National Football League, but we get one here in the 2016 season. So a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
Nothing between these two teams for 4 quarters. Here we go to begin overtime. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now Jonathan Stewart getting set to go as he trots back out there. And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync, because early in a game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets, and you might not block them quite the way you want to. But as you start to get into a groove and you figure out what they're doing, now it all comes together, and that's what we're seeing right now.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you called it the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Stewart. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
First throw in overtime for Newton. He's got time. And that is incomplete here. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn, and it's third down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Throwing on third down, Newton. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. He went backwards 5 yards there on third down to bring up fourth. Here's Andy Lee now. On for a very important punt here in overtime.
Well, that wasn't exactly a thing of beauty. I know they completed the pass, but look at the yardage lost. I mean, who does that make happy?
That's why I don't play in PPR points per reception fantasy leagues right there.
You'd be really
You don't deserve
upset,
anything
right?
for that.
But you get credit for it? Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Well, I know whoever has this team's defense, they were happy about that play.
The Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. Winston over the middle to Evans. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Simple slant route, and part of a really nice hard throw by the quarterback.
Nice timing between the quarterback and the receiver. They were perfectly in sync, and he put it right on him on the inside route.
Winston gives to the tailback, Martin. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll be a loss of 1. And all of a sudden here, it's third down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility? 3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
An expecting pass. Winston from the gun on third down. And a catch right side by Evans. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. Winston now to throw on 1st down. And break, the tight end's got it. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And off comes to Martin. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. A 1st down throw for Winston. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
And that drop will cause a little bit of angst for the play caller because you know they've worked all week game planning and flexing the tight end out and making him a matchup issue for the defense. They had what they wanted, and he drops the ball.
Yeah, just couldn't hang on to the slant. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. 12 yards there as they move the chains. And he was able to find a very soft spot in that zone coverage.
I love that term, Brandon. That soft spot where you find the open area, set up, and catch the football before the hard collision comes afterwards.
Fresh set of downs here. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Jameis now on 1st down. And he slings one that's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Doug Martin. That'll bring up 2nd down.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. On 2nd down, Winston again. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. There were a couple holes there, partner. Was that zone coverage?
That's exactly what it was, Brandon. When you see man-to-man, that defender runs with the receiver. In this case, they were just taking care of their zone coverages, their responsibilities on the field, and the offense found the open space.
They come up in an offset eye. Now a run with Martin. And now loose football. Fumble. Martin lost it. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. And a costly mistake. Coaches talk so much about ball security and in overtime. So paramount.
Partner, do you ever wonder, maybe they talk about it too much?
Too much, yeah.
Doesn't seem like you can, but maybe by discussing it time and time again, and you know they overemphasized it here, it almost became self-fulfilling.
And any points beat them here. Field goal or a touchdown now. Carolina getting set to take the field. Neither team scored yet. Now we go to sudden death. Next points win this game.
How about the tension right now?
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. And that will be caught, but out of bounds. Out of bounds, ruled incomplete here. Close there. He caught it, just wasn't able to stay in bounds.
And that's where the sideline, it was used as a 12th defender. You know, 11's legal. This one is an imaginary one that my college coach used to call Sammy Sideline. Sammy Sideline can protect you at times, and in this case, that's exactly what he did for the defenders.
He's got time in the pocket. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. Here's Andy Lee now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they got across the 50 last time, but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they've got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team, because now your defense has to make that stand up.
On 1st and 10, Winston. He's going to loft one. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kwan Williams. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. So we will see yet another drive in this overtime.
For whatever reason, neither team able to finish this game off. I know that the first thought is, does anyone really want to win it? But I think that they both desperately want to win it, and sometimes you force things, and that leads to errors.
Well, it's out there for the taking. We'll see who can do it. And he takes a shot on the release, as this will be incomplete.
Holding offense.
So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag. A shotgun snap for Newton. Surveying the field. And caught left side, Olsen. 19 yards to pick up there. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that will be their third and final in this overtime session. And as they talk it over, we take a break. We'll be right back. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. We were just treated to an absolute dandy in this.